Hey guys, I'm back here again to do yet another video this evening, or whatever time it is where you are, where you're watching this and that. And I hope you're watching this and that. So yeah, I'm back here now, thinking of an idea of what to do a video on, because I'm just pumping out videos because I'm having a blast making these and everything. And yeah, it's been really good so far, and that. But yeah, I'm here this evening, as you see, to talk all about the latest trailers that have come out the last week or two, and that, and the big ones anyway, and that. I'll cover the other ones when I get the time and everything like that. There's smaller movies and everything I'll cover, but I'm going to talk at the big ones today. And I'm actually joined by a good friend of mine in Scott. Thanks for being here, Scott, to discuss these trailers with me.
No, no worries, man.
It's like, alright, so, yeah, I'll let actually Scott kick it off, because I did my video on my thoughts on X-Men Apocalypse's first trailer this morning, but I'll let Scott actually give, because he just watched it, so I'll let Scott actually kick us off with his brief thoughts, and I will say what trailers we'll be talking about. Scott will be briefly covering X-Men Apocalypse, and then we'll be going on to other trailers such as the latest Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice trailer, the Captain America Civil War trailer, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 trailer. So we'll cover all those. But Scott, you can kick us off. What were your brief kind of initial thoughts watching the X-Men Apocalypse first official trailer?
Alright, from the very get-go, I've only seen this once, so, okay. Visually, it looks as good as it's always been for X-Men. I will not say it. I'll not say anything bad about that. It looks good. It looks more interesting to me due to the fact that we're bringing I guess you can kind of say, old characters that I want to see on the screen ever since their first appearance, or kind of low appearance in the multiple movies, especially Nightcrawler, I'll be honest. I do like the actually design of a good number of them. What did you feel about the design?
Of what was that? Of Apocalypse or Nightcrawler?
Yeah, like what did you feel about the design of like Apocalypse, Nightcrawler, the multitude of like different characters?
Well, I covered it a little bit in my video, but I'll just remind you, because I don't think Scott saw, but that's fine. Is Apocalypse looks vastly better than what he did at Comic-Con, and that some people said they were trying to hide his face. Look at the first poster they dropped. The first poster for X-Men Apocalypse they dropped, minus the teaser poster, has Apocalypse full on it. They're not. I don't like. They maybe are hiding his face a little bit. Like they gave us brief shots, but you can tell he has a very different tone to his body and skin and everything like that. So I think Apocalypse was vastly better than he did at Comic Con, and I think Nightcrawler looks fine. He looks very silly in that first still release of him, but he looks fine and that. So yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Yeah.
Here's the thing. Would I be watching this in the theaters? Maybe. Like, I want to get more into X-Men, I'll be honest. But at the same time, like, I don't know what always holds me back. And I maybe some people could actually understand that themselves. They could put down in the comments or something about, like any franchise, I guess. It's one of those things that I really, really want to get into. One of the other movies I need to say is like Star Wars. I really want to get into Star Wars before the actual new movie hits the theaters very, very soon.
Yeah.
And oh man, I don't know. This movie could bring me in, but already the other movies are super, super good. I will not lie that even though they kind of went silent, I suppose, after a year after their release. Do you feel the same way?
Of what was that? Of the X-Men movies that went silent?
They're more like they're super good, but at the same time, you don't really hear them as much.
You don't. I will actually admit that you don't hear about them as much, but maybe that's just where we are in the media. I don't know. Maybe it just depends where you're looking at on the web, I guess. I just think. Yeah, they kind of just come out and then that's that. Like you could say that about most films, I guess. But I still hear about most. I hear
very few films really stay. Like one of the biggest movies that everyone would agree on me, I believe, would be how much staying power The Dark Knight has ever since its release.
Yeah, yeah.
where how many times people have responded or have acclaimed that this superhero movies have tried to reach the Dark Knight's reputation in trying to make a story as dark, while X-Men has kind of, I would say it has a very underrated reputation of being a really good superhero movie, but at the same time, it just kind of drops silence.
Yeah.
And they're super good,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I
is
don't
there
know
anything else?
why.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you wanted to add briefly on the film, like with the young X-Men coming in, like you have Cyclops and Storm and Jean back, and you
Well,
have
I think I
McAvoy
shouldn't
going
comment to.
bald?
Yeah, as I should say, I shouldn't comment yet because we haven't actually seen them act.
Yeah, well, I will. Ty Sheridan, I will say, Ty Sheridan, who's playing Cyclops, he's a great young actor. I can't wait to actually see what he brings to it. He was in a film called Mud with Matthew McConaughey. He's a great young actor.
Hmm.
And Sophie Turner, who plays Jean, I'm not familiar with her, but I know Game of Thrones fans are familiar with her. She's from Game of Thrones and that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think I trust Bryan Singer with his choices. He did get Hugh Jackman as Wolverine after all, and that. So. Yeah, I trust Bryan Singer and that. But is there
Hmm.
anything you just wanted to finish up with, or do you want to carry on to the next trailer?
Uh, as of right now, I can't really say that much about X Men because I've only watched the first trailer, and I want to see a little bit more from it. Maybe a little bit of a short teaser with a little bit of the acting and stuff, and go from there. But as expected, X Men has always shown pretty decent acting. I will say that. So I'm expecting pretty decent to pretty good acting. But yes, let's move on to the next one.
Alright, now next we'll cover, actually going off that, we'll cover Captain. Oh, do we want to cover Captain America next? No, we'll actually.
Yeah, I'm
No.
fine with it.
I think we'll finish up with the two big ones to laugh. We'll cover that. We'll go on. I was gonna cover this, but no, we'll go on actually to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, the first trailer for the sequel to 2014's Ninja Turtles movie, and that it got the title Out of the Shadows. It's gonna be directed by Dave Green, a new director coming on board.
Hmm.
Yeah, what did you think of the Ninja Turtles 2 trailer?
Well, unlike X Men, which I just saw from just I don't know, like a few minutes ago, uh, I've watched multiple times of the X Men trailer and people's reactions to it and people's reviews and says on the movie. The movie itself looks really fun. I will not deny that this has kind of a more comic book, colorful style, which a lot of people. I don't know. It's like people say that they didn't really like the first Ninja Turtles movie for multiple reasons. Probably the most sensible one is it focused too much on uh,
The humans?
not on Sandwich called what's her
On
name?
Megan Fox?
Yeah, Megan
Yeah,
Fox,
yeah.
this Miss Sandwich, and it focused too much on her. But I understand why. But now that we have a setup, let's just have the Ninja Turtles movie. You know, the main characters of the series, the main stars of the series that they should stay on the series. But outside that, there's a few things that I like and also hate, and a lot of people have also pointed this out. One, I can't remember his name. He's supposed to be the comic relief. He came back
Will
from the
Arnett.
first one.
Oh, Will Arnett. I was gonna mention it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Will Arnett's back.
oh
The
man, talk about a
weird.
character. He's
He
just
looks
like
like a. He
he's
looked like
there
a.
for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. So I was gonna say he looked like a sexual predator in that first movie.
He does nothing. He does absolutely nothing for the series. Like he might do something. Apparently, he is a part of the canon. But it's like, if this is the character, what's the point of him being here now? To be honest, the problem is in the first one, I can understand why he's here because he's supposed to be the assistant of Sandwich. But at the same time, I'm like Casey Jones. Casey Jones looks super good. Why don't we just push him away and have Casey Jones or Arrow? A lot of people go like, oh, it's Oliver Queen. yeah, I can understand that, but to be honest, it's like, uh, how do I put this? Ninja Turtles was always a spoof on that series, like those characters. So it's like
Yeah,
I kind of like that these. If he acts like Arrow, it's like, what can you really do if you're gonna have like that? He's gonna be Casey Jones. He's gonna be kind of like Arrow. Um,
yeah,
okay,
and
let's talk about the real big thing that needs to be improved on before we go on
what's that?
to the villains.
There,
Let's
there was a
okay.
couple things I wanted to
One,
mention, but yeah. Oh,
visuals.
oh, visuals. The visuals. It is the first trailer. I think they will be improved upon when the film comes out, and that.
Hmm.
So I trust it there. What I did like though, I will say what I liked quickly. I think Stephen Amell is going to be a very fun Casey Jones. I think he's a good choice. He's, as we know, he's familiar with the vigilanteism as the Green Arrow and everything. And Bebop and Rocksteady look fun. I'm not very familiar with them, but they look like they look very
Oh man, yeah,
comical
they look
and that.
they they
And
they
yeah,
feel very. I will not deny that when I look at them, these look like really good animated characters. I will be honest. Like Bebop, the Warthog. Uh, Out of all the characters that could be done so wrong, because he looks too 80ish, you know, and it's like, okay, he doesn't look out of place in this generation. He actually looks really good. It could be
yeah,
just like, it could be done better, but at the same time, as you stated, it is just a trailer. They could be just doing the finishing touches, but what they're already done, it looks pretty solid.
yeah. And as well as that, I'll quickly mention to finish up on this trailer. We actually have a full on it, and I'm not saying this in a race kind of way, but we have a full on human Asian Shredder in this movie, and
Oh,
that
finally.
as
A
we
lot of
see.
people have pointed out that it kind of sucks that he doesn't wear the mask, but at the same time, it's like I kind of understand why, but at the same time, uh, this is like this is kind of a real life adaptation. I understand why people go for like, oh, he shouldn't wear the mask, but at the same time, like,
Yeah,
do you really? We could kind of done that in the original movie. I think it'd be fine if he just doesn't wear the mask, especially when he has to like talk.
yeah, for sure. Like I know what you mean and everything.
Hmm.
I think he'll work in this film. I'm glad that they're doing this and everything. I think it'll be neat and that. It'll be very interesting to see. But did you want to move on to talking about the next trailer?
Oh, I actually wanted to tell you, what
Yeah,
did you feel about the tone of the movie, the trailer? The tone
of the Ninja
that seems
Turtles.
to be, yeah,
I thought it
that seems to
worked
be one of the
for.
big parts.
I think it works for the what the property is for Ninja Turtles and that.
Hmm.
Like it felt maybe a little over the top, but that worked kind of fine with what they're going for and that. It didn't feel
Hmm.
too like there was a fairly silly kind of video gamey looking shot at the end where they're jumping out of the water and the what is that tank comes out of the water and shoots the camera. I'm like I don't know what's
Hmm.
going on there. That was pretty crazy and everything, but it worked. It was over the top and fun and crazy and everything. And what excites me the most, I'll admit, because I am a Arrow fan, is Stephen Amell's Casey Jones. That is what is exciting me the most. And
Hmm. And it seems like the guy's been acting this character for quite some time. I'd be surprised if he actually didn't feel like he didn't act good in a part that just seemed like he was doing like a slice of cake. Um, but with the tone for me is near perfect for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's
for
a
these ones anyway, yeah,
yeah. I felt the seriousness was a little like the action scenes in the first one looked really good. They were fast paced. They were very smooth in animation, but at the same time, I felt that the serious tone wasn't really needed. A little bits of here and there, of course, are fine, but it is the Ninja Turtles. You don't have
yeah,
to act like it's something super serious. In fact,
yeah,
this is a series that is based entirely on not being serious.
yeah. But at the same time, we could do without Will Arnett. We don't need Will Arnett.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sad. Did you
At
want to?
least
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it, make him an interesting character, or just leave them to the side for other characters like Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, for sure. But is there anything else you want to add? Because we're on the 15-minute mark. Do you want to go on to the next trailer?
Yep, I'm on to next era.
Alright,
Let's do this.
on to the next trailer. We will cover now what I was about to mention we'll do before, and that is the first trailer for Captain America Civil War, the highly anticipated film that a lot of comic book fans have been looking forward to. I've been very excited for it. I'm curious to see if Scott's been very excited for it or not. But yeah, what did you think of the first trailer for Captain America Civil War?
Alright, it's been a little bit since I've seen it recently, but I remember like a good number of bits. Okay, the first off, okay, Black Panther just coming up out of nowhere. Looks really good. I'm surprised that Spider-Man actually didn't appear, to be honest.
Oh, sorry, here's a question for you. There was a lot of
I-
complaints online that Black Panther actually looked like a bit of a Power Ranger-esque and that, so I'm curious to see what you kind of gather from that. I can
Well, here's
see
the
what...
thing.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a guy, a human figure in a black suit and a human figure in a colorful suit? Let's be honest. It's kind of the same thing. What can you really change with Black Panther that will really change,
Yeah.
him from looking human, I guess?
He looks fine to me for the character and everything. I thought he looked fine and everything. I love the shot of him kicking Bucky in the face and then Captain America chasing him down in the
I'm more
underground
fascinated in
tunnel.
what he might do in the movie. Like, why is he here? But I'm actually more like also interested. I'm surprised Spider-Man actually didn't appear in this, because apparently he has actually a bigger role now than they originally planned.
I think it'll be that he has a small role, but it'll be significant as in what he does, I think. And
Because I think they said like there's apparently he's gonna actually show in a battle scene. Like he's actually gonna fight one of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which fascinated me. Like, okay, so we're gonna really push him out there, much like Black Panther, and he's gonna be like getting his movie right after Doctor Strange, I believe, isn't he?
No,
Or at least like
Doctor
he's gonna come
Strange.
after or before.
No,
I don't know.
it's Doctor Strange, then Guardians 2, and then Spider-Man.
Okay, that'd be why.
So Spider-Man is July 2017, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And that. But yeah, I wasn't too surprised we didn't see Spider-Man in the trailer. I really liked. I love the shots of Black Panther actually. I like seeing, kind of learning more about the Sokovia Accords and what it is that's putting Captain America and Iron Man head to head with about who they report to, like who do the Avengers report to with the government and esque. And that, I like that because you can't do the secret identity stuff like in the comics. So I like I like that.
Yeah, they just can't at this point.
Yeah, you can't do it
I
now.
like that they're trying to go, okay, let's have some of the best comic books out there. Instead of going this way, how about we just have the best comic books be kind of the storyline in between each other? And it really does work because we see the relationship with Bucky, which goes on further to the next, which is Winter Soldier. Then we see it to the next, which is now.
Yeah, like I like how they're actually handling it with the Sokovia Accords and who they report to, and I like how Bucky is playing a role in it about how the government are kind of searching and hunting down Bucky, and they're not going to take him alive. Isn't that what Captain America said? They're not going to take him alive, and then also I liked how they've thrown General Ross back in there. I'm curious to see General Ross's role in the film.
As well, I feel like talk about one of the movies that was kind of just so like it wasn't really panned. It was just kind of just immediately forgotten after its release.
Incredible Hulk.
It had some pretty decent characters, but also like one of the only remaining villains that didn't actually die, surprisingly.
Yeah. But did you like General Ross being back in there? And there was a brief shot of.
I felt it was nice because he is part of the military, and well, the military hasn't really been a big part of any superhero movie. This seems like a very it seems like a right choice for him to come back, I guess.
Yeah, and you had a brief shot in there of Martin Freeman in the film, as you know, the actor Martin Freeman who played, if you don't know, played Bilbo in The Hobbit and Watson and Sherlock.
Oh yes.
We have Martin Freeman's in this. I don't know who he's playing. There's rumors that he could be playing an agent from Wakanda, so he's a Black Panther-esque character. But I don't know. Are you curious to see what his role is in it? We didn't see Daniel Bruhl in the film either. Daniel Bruhl, of course, will be playing one of the major villains in Baron Zemo, one of the heads of Hydra, and that, which will be interesting. But yeah, you have any thoughts on that?
Hmm. Uh, well, it does interest me on what their characters might be and what Shields or the Shield agents, more importantly, would be doing in the next few movies, from Spider-Man to uh, already Shield's involvement with Doctor Strange. Apparently, I don't know if it. I want to actually see more of like what timeline does Doctor Strange really come from? Because apparently he has his powers. He's known as Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'll be curious when the film comes out in November next year. Yeah, and I'm hoping that
Hmm.
Civil War does have a post-credit scene to lead into it. But that's a discussion for another day about what they'll have in store there. But yeah, as well as that, is there anything else you want to add, like Bucky's role that we learned about his role from the trailer, and then Iron Man and Captain America going head to head, and you have a shot of War Machine on the ground. Is he dead? I don't think War Machine's dead, but you see him on the ground there. But yeah,
Oh, he's probably like super injured. Let's be honest.
yeah,
I don't know what happened, but he looks like he got his ass handed to him.
yeah.
Not as much as Falcon though. Let's be honest.
Oh well, Batman. Yeah. Um. Yeah, it was good. Did you have anything else to add, or was that your?
I think we are in a timeline, but yeah, we'll probably get to the next trailer. But there is the next one is probably going to be the Batman and Superman one, right?
Yeah, that'll be the last one, which I have a bit to
Oh,
say.
talk about one I have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a bit. That's why we're leaving it to last. We're going to talk about that one probably a bit. Yeah. But did you want to get to that one? Or do you have any final words on Civil War?
Okay, would I see this in the movies? Of course. I'm probably going to go with my friends. I'm going to check it out. I'll probably enjoy it because I enjoyed Winter Soldier, even though I didn't really see it in theaters. But I'll be honest. This looks like a really good leap towards what may happen. The problem is what is going to happen because if you have read the Civil War storyline of the comic book, it's pretty, it's really a huge step for a good number of characters. I won't spoil it because it's a really good read. But if you can watch it or read it, whatever,
Yeah, good.
just
Yeah,
it's such a
sorry.
good read. But at the same time, ah man,
Yeah,
talk
because
about a big jump.
yeah, 'cause as we know, a major thing does happen at the end of the Civil War story in the comics. We'll see. I don't think they'll do the same in the movie, but they'll do something. I think they'll do something to shock us. I think, and that which will
Oh
be
yeah, definitely.
yeah. But saying that, did you want to move on to the next one?
Oh yes. Next, we're gonna
Oh,
talk about Batman and Superman. Oh boy, how much time do we have? I just want to
we're
ask.
just past the 23-minute mark, so we can talk about
All right.
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna start on the final trailer discussing here, and that is for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and that the highly anticipated film, probably the most anticipated film of 2016 for most people. How long we've waited for these two iconic heroes to be in a big film together and everything, and that. So yeah, I'll just quickly throw up some things that I kind of liked to start with because I will say that it wasn't a great trailer. I was kind of disappointed in this trailer. I thought the Comic Con trailer was fantastic. This trailer was very disappointing though. Very unimpressive, but I will say what I did like. I loved the dialogue between Bruce and Clark, where Bruce says to Clark, "I've got real tired of freaks dressed as clowns." A very nice nod to the Joker and everything. And I
Hmm.
like the nightmare scenes with Batman in the desert and everything. And you had these flying things that look like Darkseid's army. Someone's pointing out from the comics. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add, like Eisenberg's Luthor and stuff like that, and Doomsday even? Like, yeah,
Oh man, where do I begin? Okay, let's talk about the good parts. First off, looks really good. Looks really good. The I've seen I've seen the pictures of Batman. He looks amazing in this. Superman, I don't know. He seems kind of the same. I guess he doesn't look like he's got any
yeah, he works.
improvements
He
on
works
his
though, I
suit.
think.
He works. He's just like just kind of. out of all the work they've done on Batman, let's be honest, Superman looks kind of like, hey, I just kind of like, it looks like it looks like an immediate after film, like that. Man of Steel just happened, I don't know, 1 day ago in the series' timeline, and then it's just like this happens. Like, oh, okay, what?
Yeah. Well,
You look like you haven't aged one bit. Your suit hasn't like done anything.
yeah. Like oh, what else is there to happen thrown in there? Like this is the big. Well, actually, we'll get this more into this discussion on this trailer. But we had Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, which a lot of people were mixed on. I didn't mind him too much, but I don't know. I just don't know. I'm kind of mixed on him. I didn't mind him at first, but I'm kind of mixed on him now with that kind of
Oh,
personality he has there, and the fact he creates. Actually, I'm not too annoyed as much as most people are with the fact he creates Doomsday with Zod. I'm not too annoyed with that, but I know a number of comic fans
yeah,
are.
with the understanding of like a lot of people first thought it was Bizarro. Uh,
Or
no,
Metallo.
not
There's a
really.
few that thought it was Metallo as
Yeah,
well.
like it's a few different characters that he could
Yeah,
have represented, but it's like Doomsday.
yeah, it's kind of early.
I Yeah, it's really early, but I guess it was as you might remember, this was originally supposed to be Superman 2,
Oh
if you
well,
recall.
Superman 2 is still on the way though. They're still making a Man of Steel sequel, and that like
Yeah,
this.
it seemed like it was making Superman 2, but at the same time they went like, okay, we let's actually focus more on creating a universe. So how about we kind of scrap the idea, but how about we take a little pieces and bits here and try to develop a movie with what we have currently.
Yeah,
Like, do you feel like that? I don't
like
know.
what worries me is I get this vibe that the first two acts are gonna be. I think the first two acts are gonna like. I'm just basing this off the trailer and what we've seen, but the first two acts look really, really good, and that they look really well done. But then the third act looks like a giant. From the trailer, it looks like a giant mess, and I'm not sure what to gather because, like, at least with the pacing of the trailer, with the third act of the trailer, look like a giant mess. Like he's just gonna have Doomsday thrown in there. It reminded me of how they threw Venom in there in the Spider-Man 3.
Hmm.
Just threw him in there. It just seems like they're just gonna throw Doomsday in at the end just to interrupt the fighting and everything. It's like, oh, who's Doomsday? I'm like you don't need him yet. You don't need Doomsday yet. You could save him for
Hmm.
a Justice League movie. You don't
The
need
thing
him
is,
yet.
like Lex Luthor, Lex Luthor is like there. He's right there. He's one of the most biggest iconic villains in all of comic books. And you go like, why can't we make a villain out of this?
Yeah, like
Why is it like on like Lex Luthor could be just the villain by himself and it could be so good. I guess the acting would have been a little bit off, I guess, if it was just the only villain. But at the same time, he's he's shown you can do nearly anything with Lex Luthor and as long as you have a very extensive plan. And this movie itself feels like it's kind of got that thing going where it's like a, a lot of people say that Lex Luthor planned out that Batman would face off against Superman. I'm like, okay, is he tricking him? Is he fooling him into trying to fight Superman? Is he covering more stuff up so he doesn't really understand what's happening?
yeah,
Uh, what's with Superman? Does he know what Lex Luthor is planning? Is he? It's all this stuff that's unclear, and a lot of people would go, I I don't like it, or they seem like, oh, I don't really understand, and I shouldn't really like be bothered by it. But at the same time, like this is supposed to be a movie that is the jumping point for nearly all of DC's main movies coming out soon enough.
yeah. As well as that, I should mention, what is it? Did they show too much from the trailer? Like, it's hard to say because I kind of expected Doomsday from all the rumors going around and that. But visually, I think some people go on saying it's like, no, they didn't show too. Like, some people claim they didn't show too much and that. But I just thought visually they did. Like, we didn't need to see
Oh
Batman and
yeah.
Superman together at the end. Like, yes, we knew they were gonna come together. Like, people make that excuse, saying like, "Oh well, you knew they were gonna team up at the end anyway. It is Dawn of Justice." Like, yes, that's true. That is true. But that is still like a visual spoiler. You don't want to see it and that, but you
Hmm.
see it anyway. And the trailer ends. This has annoyed me the most. As much as it was cool and I loved it, and a lot of people did, the trailer ends with a Trinity shot of Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, and then boom, the title comes up: Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Like, what? You know what I mean? It's like they're all standing
Yeah.
together as kind of like the Trinity, and then the trailer ends, and then it's Batman v Superman. That's when you know you've shown too much, I think. And
The problem I feel is that the movie seems like it was, oh, let's have Wonder Woman first before this movie, and then they kind of jumped the shark and went like, hey, let's just put him in. It'd be like if Hulk didn't have his movie and he just kind of appeared, and it's like, what? It would have been cool, but what? And then just have him at the very, very third part, and it's like, yeah, it. I don't know. I really, really don't know.
yeah,
Or
well,
let's just say Iron Man comes in the third part, and like, oh, it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, but at the same time, like, I don't really care. Is
yeah,
there going to be a new next movie going to come out?
yeah. Like, I will
I guess it
say,
could be testing waters, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Like, I will say the fight scenes between Superman and Batman look fantastic. Like, what was that line from Superman? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting it. But there's a fantastic line from Superman, and he says to Batman in the trailer, where he's like, "I can." Is it something along the lines? I'm just paraphrasing here. I
Oh
can't.
wait, what's
I
it?
can.
Wait, I
I
can
can.
end you right now, or
I
something
could,
like that.
yeah, I could end you right now if I wanted to, and that. And one of my
Mm.
favorite lines in the whole trailer, I think my favorite line in the trailer goes to Bruce Wayne, though, where he's speaking to Clark, and I love the scenes between Bruce and Clark at the start, where Bruce is like, what is it? I've seen enough freaks
Uh,
dressed as clowns. And I thought that was a very nice reference, very nice nod. And I think we're going to get quite a few of those nods to Joker and stuff like that throughout the film and everything.
hmm.
And I thought that was nice. But yeah, I'll ask you, what did you think of the Bruce and Clark scene at the start, and also Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, his take on Lex
Oh,
Luthor?
here we go.
Yeah,
Nice, very interesting. Seems natural conversation between Bruce Wayne and
Clark
uh,
Kent.
Clark Kent, of course. It seems really good. It seems like it's going to be quite interesting to have these characters talking to each other, even though we would know that Clark is a little bit off for reasons because he is a hero. He likes to keep his identity, and then comes Lex or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name.
Lex Luthor.
Uh,
And then who
no, I
comes?
mean
Oh,
the
Jesse
actor.
Eisenberg.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. I should just call him Jesse because he's not really playing Lex Luthor. Kind of.
Yeah.
He's playing more of a weird, more Joker Lex Luthor, I guess. Uh, he seems. I'm not gonna say that he can't act like Luthor. He just doesn't play the part right, in my opinion. He just doesn't
It,
feel
the,
like the guy who would beat you to death.
yeah, I will say in the film's defense, we don't know what kind of Luthor they're going for here. Like, we kind of do now.
Hmm.
We're kind of starting to gather the Luthor they're going for here, but we still don't know a lot yet about him. Like, with his backstory and everything like this.
Hmm.
And everything like that. So, this could be the perfect Lex Luthor for the world that they're creating. And that.
Hmm.
And that's, which will be interesting. I don't know. As well as that, yeah, I didn't all that mind he created Doomsday with Zod, yes, but I did mind the fact that it's kind of early to introduce Doomsday, and the fact that they showed Doomsday in the trailer, even though I
Because of
kind
all
of
the other
yeah,
characters they could have brought in,
yeah, yeah,
besides just being like Luthor by himself, as I already said before, it could have been Bizarro. Could have really worked in this movie.
yeah, Metallo, or yeah,
Because like, how about in this? Bizarro looks exactly like Superman, but at the same time, he he's kind of like melting. Like, let's just say Batman just smashes him in the face, and he looks more like Bizarro, where he's like jaws a little bit out of
yeah,
like, like hanging and stuff, and it looks really, really like a weird looking Superman. And it gives one reason that a lot of people would mistake Superman as a villain because Bizarro looks like him, and his first appearance might look exactly like 100% very uh last long. His appearance of Superman doesn't last long, so Lex needs to keep
Yeah, I think that.
making sure that he looks apart.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of a staticky problem there. I hope if it comes through the video, I apologise on that. I hope you can understand what Scott is saying there and everything, and that you've understood most of what he said anyway. And that, but yeah, that's that. Is there anything else you want to throw in, or you want to wrap it up because they're past 35 minutes?
Uh, my how do I respond with this movie?
Or the trailer at least.
Yeah, right now this movie feels like it's packing in so much, but at the same time it's not being very clear with what it wants. It's how do I put it? It's like Amazing Spider-Man. It wants to make, or at least Amazing Spider-Man 2. It wants to make a huge series with all these characters, all these plot points, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I don't want Amazing Spider-Man 2.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I want another Dark Knight.
Yeah, like Amazing Spider-Man 2 felt like one giant ad for Sinister Six. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another discussion.
Much as I love the Sinister Six,
yeah.
I want to not have another Amazing Spider-Man 2. I want another Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And that's what they want, is another Dark Knight.
Yeah, but that's like, well, Amazing Spider-Man stuff's a discussion for another day. But yeah, your initial thoughts on all these trailers. Like, how would you rate all the trailers you saw? Apocalypse, Ninja Turtles, Civil War, and Batman v Superman.
Alright, I need to keep that in mind.
Like, rate
Apocalypse?
all out of 10 if you want. You know?
Maybe a 6, maybe a 7 with Apocalypse. I only see the trailer once, but it seems solid enough. But as I already said with the X-Men, as much as they're super good movies, they don't have a lot of staying power. Yeah. And that's just the X-Men kind of. That's the X-Men movie problem. Next one is the Ninja Turtles one.
How would you rate that?
Seems pretty fun. It looks really good for kids. Probably a 6, maybe a 7 as well.
Alright, Civil War.
Civil War, pretty big, good start for the next phase. It's basically to be really, really solid. Hopefully, it's super solid, but a lot of people would say it's super good. I'm gonna watch it anyway, just because it's Marvel. It's the next step from Winter Soldier. It's gonna include all these characters. It's including goddamn Spider-Man in the universe.
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna put it as a flat 7.
Yeah, and then Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Oh, how do I put this? I'm like on a 5 with this one. It gives so much away, and that it doesn't really seem like it's getting clear.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for the best, because I'm really like, if you're putting all this effort into this, I'm gonna have I'm on the fence. I'm gonna be on the fence. I'm looking interested in it, but at the same time, I can see its faults so clearly.
Yeah. Well, to finish up, I'll just quickly go through them all. I'll give the Apocalypse trailer about a 7. I'll give it an 8 actually. I'll give the Apocalypse trailer an 8. Ninja Turtles trailer I'll give a 7. Civil War trailer I'll give it an 8. Batman Superman I'll give a 6. And that.
Alright.
So yeah, that's my ratings. To finish up, that was our thoughts. Our thoughts on the trailers that have been hitting the past couple of weeks. And that I'll thank Scott for joining me. I hope he is welcome. He's welcome to come again, Scott. You're welcome to join me again anytime.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Like, okay, yeah, well, thanks for being here, Scott. Thanks for listening. If you managed to get through all this, we're not professionals, we're just friends having a fun discussion.
Oh yeah. If you think of professionalism, no, don't come here.
Yeah, we're just having fun discussion.
Or come here, maybe.
Yeah, we're just having a fun discussion. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I applaud you if you managed to get through just about almost 40 minutes of us talking about trailers, and that it was very, very fun. And I can't wait to upload this, and I can't wait to produce more videos. I'm having a blast doing it. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks again for joining me, Scott.
All right.
Thanks, guys. See ya.